Guys, finally, Orji Uzor Kalu has come out to support Donald Trump striking terrorist hideouts in Nigeria to end Christian genocide. This is as against the Tinubu's government that have been, initially they said there was nothing like genocide. Later they said, oh, it's because Peter Obi went to the USA to ignite the flame. Later they blamed it on IPOB. And later you hear Bola Dane saying it was as a result of Shetima's speech during the UN general meeting. And later again they said some group of Nigerians in the diaspora are the ones pushing for it. So guys, when we keep playing this blame game, we can hardly get results from in solving our problems. Now Orji Uzor Kalu is the only senator who has boldly come out to say, yes, Christians are being quiet. We have a problem. We need Donald Trump. As against the Tinubu and other political powers that be, they don't want Donald Trump, but they want the menace to continue. Now, take a look at what Orji Uzor Kalu has got to say. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Now, take a look.
President Donald Trump has made some remarks that have been making Nigerians unsettly in the last couple of days. Distinguished sir, as a former governor, former whip, you've been around and you are very close to former US presidents and even senators. What is your response to this, and what do you think should be the way forward for Nigeria as a country?
Well, what Donald Trump said, I will also disclose myself fully. I'm pro-America. So for anything I will say, know that it will be pro-America. Did what Donald Trump say, is he a lie? The answer is yes. It's not a lie, because Donald Trump said the truth. Nigerians are being killed, whether they are Christians or Muslims. Are they not being killed? If they kill people in Plateau, they go to a church in Plateau, those they will kill are Christians. If they go to Benue, the majority of people they will kill in Benue are Christians. If they go to Zamfara, majority of people they kill in mosque there are Muslims. So these people are jihadists. These people just want to destroy Nigeria. So we should call a black name on them without any pity. They will be smoked out. Let me also tell you, the American president cannot talk anyhow. In my own little way, I have spoken to two former presidents, one Republican and one Democrat, and they all agree that they will help. I've spoken to about 6 senators, sitting senators in the U.S. Congress. So they've all said, we will help you people. But let me tell you, before President Trump says a word, mind you that the American intelligence community must have found out where these people are living. All these ones we are talking is rhetoric. And you can see Nigerian Air Force, possibly the information that have been given to them by the U.S. authorities, and say they are there. And you see Nigerian Air Force in the last 3 days bombing the homes of these people. And that is what it should be. We should not pity anybody who is a terrorist. We should not. We should not. When I was governor, you remember I was governor, I formed the Bakassi. And the Bakassi was not about boyfriend and girlfriend. The Bakassi was about criminals. So if it's there, we'll smoke them away. And I can tell you, from everybody serving in this government, from President Tinubu to Vice President Shetima, everybody is committed to smoke these people away. But you people who are journalists and community people should also help the military and the people to tell us really who are the members of this sect that are doing this. No person it's also the same Americans that caused the problem, because when you kill Gaddafi and kill Saddam Hussein, we have a problem, because those people were maintaining their borders. Nobody was crossing there. It's after the kill of those people that light arms and big arms went wild all over the world, and we are suffering from it today. So America is the leader of the free world, and as leader of the free world, whatever that president says, he meant it. And we are working diplomatically to make sure that we put our house in order. It will be solved diplomatically, because
you are a pastor or any man of God and you have nothing reasonable to say to all that is happening in Nigeria. Just shut up. Just shut it. Just shut up. After all, that is what most of you do. You don't say anything. Thousands will be killed. Hundreds are being killed. As far as your offering and tithes keep getting intact and all those things you're doing, it doesn't concern you. Just shut up. Stop embarrassing people. Stop embarrassing the genuine men of God in this nation. Stop embarrassing them. Just shut up. People are being killed. Lives are being destroyed daily. Not one of you. You don't speak anything. You don't say a thing. You don't say a thing. You don't even bother. And when people that are genuinely speaking for the cause of the people are speaking, and you come outside, you begin to bring propaganda. Just shut up. Many of you are bigoted. Go and check. Many of you are bigoted. Bigotry has eaten you up. And the most annoying part is the fact that you come and be saying, God spoke to me. God spoke to me. God spoke to you that President Trump want to come and save Nigeria because he want to collect the resources in Nigeria. He wants to collect your mineral, your gold, and your oil. That's what God told you. You are a dishonest person. Why have we come to this level? In the scriptures, if you go through the Bible, the men of God, the prophet of God, were known to speak against injustice, to speak against wickedness, but not in these days. Just shut up. You don't have anything reasonable to say. Shut it. What nonsense? What are we doing to ourselves in this nation? When God will save it, how many of you don't know how many years people have been praying? All the killings, the genocide. You come out as a man of God to say there is no genocide in this nation against Christian faith. You are a wicked soul. You are a wicked entity. To come out and say there is no genocide, you say let's keep genocide aside. Forget about the issue of genocide. You are a wicked soul. Just shut up. Many of you have no idea. I have lived in the north. I'm still in the north, serving in the north, leading God's people here in the north. Many of you have no idea whatsoever. You are in the south there, enjoying your AC churches and all that. That's fine. But if you don't have any reasonable contribution to make, just shut up and stop gaslighting people. For as long as I can remember, Christians have always been at the receiving end of anything in this country. There is insecurity, truly. But we all know that this insecurity is created by people that are milking the nation, mining resources, partnering with China with the Chinese to mine resources, and they're taking them abroad, taking them away from this nation, and they arm this bandit to secure them, so as a means of distraction. So while the activity of mining is going on, so to prevent the military men or the Nigerians to focus on them, they created insecurity. And so while you are focused on insecurity and all the killings and kidnapping, you will not even bother to check their activity, and that is the plan. And that's how they keep taking resources away from this nation. You know that. The government of that are people that know that this is not a hidden thing. They arm these bandits for the essence of distraction, to distract people. That is there. But we all know that there is a systematic jihadi agenda and Islamization against Nigeria. And you say Nigeria is a secular nation. How is a secular nation a member of an Islamic organization of the world or something? An Islamic organization, a world Islamic organization. Why will a secular nation be a member of a world Islamic organization? Why will a secular nation that is called a secular nation be practicing Sharia in some part of the state? Why will a secular nation have the inscription of the Nigerian military to be in Arabic, not in English, that everybody understand? You all are there. You are so dumb. You are there. You are following them to spread propaganda, to spread lies. This has been going on for years. We know it. You all know it. I was born and brought up in Kaduna. I live in Kaduna. I live in Jos. We have seen all these attacks consistently in Benue, in Kaduna, in Jos, in part of Nasarawa, in Taraba. Consistently, Christian community have been burned. Churches have been burned. Every time somebody insulted Mohammed in France, the next thing is a church in Kaduna or in Jos that is being burned. We all know this. It's been going on for years. And you come out to say, forget that Trump is only interested in the resources of Nigeria. You just shut up. Shut it. You don't have anything to say. Just keep quiet. Than for you to come and speak trash, embarrassing genuine men of God. As far as we know, most of you don't talk. Let the church, let the northern Christians be killed. Let them be killed in their squats in their hundred. It doesn't concern you. You keep going about your normal business. You don't talk. You don't bother. And that's it. Keep it that way. God will hold you accountable for that. But for you to come and counter or try to ridicule people that are speaking against this, that are fighting for the true cause of the genocide of Christians. Just 2 days ago, in a community in Benue, look at how they massacre children, babies sleeping, and they massacre them. But you will not speak up. Not once have you come out to speak against the killings, but you are always quick to come and debunk when people are speaking, when people are trying to speak for the truth. If you don't have anything, as a man of God, speaking to men of God this morning, if you don't have anything to say, just keep quiet, zip it. We thank God for the lives of Reverend Ezekiel. That man is a true apostle of Jesus Christ. We see what God, we see how the man has been fighting constantly. He could have left them. He could have left that community, but he's there fighting for people. You don't care. They don't have basic churches. They don't have big jeeps. They don't bother. They keep serving Jesus. You are there in your estate, in your cozy churches, and don't bother. Continue. You keep organizing programs and this, and keep breaking limits. That's your problem. No problem. But for those that are speaking against the injustice in Nigeria, let them speak. Don't silence them. Don't try to mock people's pain. Just shut up. You don't have anything to say. Shut it. How do we find ourselves here in this situation where we cannot speak truth to the power, that you cannot come out and speak confront the government on what they are doing? But God is raising a Cyrus for us all the way from America to come and fight the cause. The man never said he's coming to dethrone the government or to overturn topple the government. He didn't say he was coming to fight Muslim or to kill Muslim. He said, I'm coming to kill terrorists, specializing the terrorists that are killing Christians, and you are fighting it, and you are speaking up to say he's interested in your resources. You are speaking out to say he's interested in your resources. Trump is interested in your resources. He's interested in your gold and silver that the Chinese have been taken away. And you think that is all what this. People were crying. It was the crowd of people that got the attention of this man. You act as if you don't know, but because it is your kinsman, I'm a Yoruba man too. But I will never be a bigot. I will never be a bigot. I hate bigotry. I hate bigotry. For that, he's my person, he's my tribe. Because most of you are benefiting directly from the corruption of this government. You are a man of God, you don't have anything to say. Shut up. Shut up. Don't mock people's pain. Don't ridicule people that are speaking up. Don't come and tell us that there is no genocide. I accept you want the wrath of God to come upon you. Let we that are speaking, we will continue to speak. We thank God for the lives of Prophet Ebuba. We thank God for the life of Dr. Paul. We thank God for the lives of Reverend Ezekiel. Reverend Ezekiel that in Jos. We thank God for those that are speaking. But you that don't speak, keep quiet. If you cannot speak anything reasonable, don't come and mock people's pain to say there is no genocide. I am Apostle Michael Olo, okay? And I will never be silent anymore. Because while you are being silent, while you are trying to hide under the protection of the government or trying to get favor, people like Gumi, people like Sheikh Gumi are begging Nigerians to pamper terrorists. No, don't kill them. Don't shoot at them. Don't bomb them. Give them amnesty. Negotiate with them. Which nation in the world negotiate with terrorists? But why the Islamic clerics are fighting? We saw. I have a document here. The minute of a meeting held made about in the year 2010, where they were planning strategically of how to execute jihad in Jos, Bauchi, and Kaduna, headed by Issa Pantami, the former Minister of Information and Communication under Buhari's government. These men are deep, they're strategic, the thing has been going on, they're working tirelessly to achieve it. You are there in your church in the south, and you can spew rubbish. Shut up! You don't have anything to say, shut it.
Whatever is happening right now is not new. In 2014, don't forget Dr. Abati, you have a situation where APC leaders took themselves from Nigeria, including late General Muhammadu Buhari, who was the then presumption candidate of the APC, and went to meet John Kerry, former Secretary of State, to the US government, and laid down all of this. And you could see that the US took all the things that they said to heart, and since then the US has been documenting everything that's been happening. And close to the 2015 election, John Kerry came to the country, and you know, the US tried to play an influence. Now, if we are reversing the situation, APC is now in government after having chased PDP out, and they are facing the same thing. So our politicians should know that it's not about political party or political actors, it's about the interests of the country.
In 1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then, and people were killed in scores. If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, they were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo-owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riots, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were stoning our zinc. They spot our zinc shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then, even though my father was a Muslim then, but because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we're living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the Miss World crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody drew a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Scores have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that debunks it is a total lie, because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we were Muslims, but we're still running, because as far as you are not of that ethnic group, practicing what they practice, You are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about, he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi, Lamido Sanusi, was the one that led him on. And they beheaded him. They killed the Igbo man. They killed him and they put his head on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You will understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. An evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I schooled in Jos, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking out every single time. The one that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be an ignorant people. If we are ignorant people, they will control the narrative. And these days, let me tell you this truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from now till tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you. Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan. And to be able to, destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Kashim Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Kashim Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy, bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to kill them. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? Issa Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army has not been able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are their Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism? When there are people high in government that are sympathizers to terrorism, how do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That's always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed that Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill? There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani herdsmen capture that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with guns. You must now ask yourself, how does a Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you will know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You will understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and then the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, Northern Muslims, they were happy. I know of people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are purging Nigeria of army. It was majorly on Christians and Christian-dominated areas. But when it comes to 2014, the man Buhari and APC that wanted to overthrow the government of Jonathan, by all means, decided to employ mercenaries.
It's really shocking to see that some of these politicians try to run away from the reality on ground. You know, you have a challenge and somebody's okay, I will help you take away the challenge, and you say no, you don't want. Now, let me read from Arise TV Twitter handle. It says, former Abia Governor Orji Uzor Kalu backs U.S. military action against terrorists in Nigeria, while 7 federal lawmakers. Senator Orji Uzor Kalu has thrown his weight strongly in support of United States military action in Nigeria to wipe out jihadist terrorists in the country. Speaking to journalists shortly before Tuesday plenary, Orji Uzor Kalu, who currently represents Abia North, backs the president of the United States, Donald Trump, when he said he spoke the truth. He said he spoke the truth about the mindless killing. Applaudable to say that Orji Uzor Kalu is like the only senator who has come out to boldly say we want Donald Trump. This person today, you may not feel it because the victims aren't your family or friends, but they were someone's fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, husband, wives, murdered in cold blood. Violence anywhere is a threat to humanity. Humanity everywhere. Wake up. Prophet Isa Ebuba. And this other person say, anything I will say, you know, it's pro-America. Oga, you don't want the U.S. government to seize or freeze your asset in America. Nothing like pro-America, I beg. This person say Igbo people might be corrupt, but they try to, as much as possible, to call a spade without fear of evil. They are very courageous, unlike their counterparts. This one here said, this will still not stop the politicians to call out ban and have their children deported when the time comes. If you like, support it or don't, whatever matters most is the joy, is that joy is coming. This person say, person will get $1 million house for USA. Let him say rubbish now. This person said the only governor to make such statement, I think, is applaudable. The only governor or senator, you know, the only person to make such statement. I think Nigerians are really applauding him that he tried. At least for him to have come out and boldly say it. You know, it's not easy to be in that Senate that is dominated by the Muslim group. Now, we have a video here where this guy is a killing of Christians. You are a Nigerian pastor and you don't have anything meaningful to say. Then just keep quiet and shut up instead of gaslighting those who are speaking the truth. Stop embarrassing yourself. Apostle Alolu calls out corrupt Nigerian politicians. So this guy is saying for pastors who are coming to say that Trump is trying to do this or that. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.